I'm your host, Kelly Morgan, indie author and indie publisher. Welcome to another episode of The Author's Mic. Welcome to today's episode. Hey everyone, Kelly here, indie author, indie publisher. This is another episode of The Author's Mic. So I've been thinking about something, and I hear this a lot, not just from authors, but I hear it from content creators and entrepreneur. I've heard it from people on dating apps and people on different types of apps. And this is the thing. Does the algorithm vary post from people of color? Now, I'm not a genius by all means. I don't know how to write code. I'm not in Silicon Valley, and I'm not here to break down complex equations. That's not what I do. But I am curious, and my curiosity wonders if I'm an author of color and I post my work at the exact same time as an author who is not of color, is their post more likely to be seen than mine just because of who they are and the color of our skin? Now, from what I read, the answer just isn't a simple yes or no. But there is evidence that bias exists in these systems. And here's what I found. So in 2020, TikTok admitted to suppressing certain videos, claiming it was to prevent bullying. But creators, especially Black creators, noticed that their content was being removed or shown to fewer people without any explanation. A Carnegie Mellon University study found that certain automated ad systems showed fewer high-paying job ads to women and people of color, even though the system was supposed to be neutral. And then researchers have documented algorithmic bias, where AI and social media algorithms reflect the same inequalities that we see in the real world because they're trained on real world data. And that data often underrepresents people of color. So, how does that show up for authors? So, algorithms boost what's already getting clicks, likes, and comments. So, if a post from an author of color gets less visibility for any reason, the system sees it as less engagement. The system sees, the engagement is low, and then it decides people don't like it as much. And then it shows it to fewer people. And that cycle can keep repeating. Now, does that mean that every post by a person of color is buried on purpose? No. But does bias built into data, the moderation rules, and the way engagement loops work play a role? Well, then the answer would be yes. Now, here's the part that wears you down. If this is happening, it means authors of color have to go the extra mile just to be seen. And you know what? That can be exhausting. And, in hindsight, I think that's why I created BTA Fridays, because I got tired of this type of thing right there. I got tired of chasing that algorithm that wasn't even really meant for me. I just think that um, what can we do? Because trying to be seen in this industry can feel like a full-time job. And so I really wanted to find out, I wanted to bring solutions to what we could possibly do to change this. And this is what I came up with, all right? There are 6 of them. First of all is build your first 10 response team. So what I mean by this is if you can get 10 people, if you can, 15 is even better. Trusted people who will like, comment, and share your post in the first hour that you post it. You want to know why? I learned that early engagement tells the algorithm the content matters. So if you've got a squad where you can get your 10 people to like your stuff immediately, that will definitely help boost your post. Go across platforms. So if one platform is not giving you love, then drive people to another. So for example, share your TikTok on Instagram, then your Instagram to LinkedIn, and then your LinkedIn to your email list. All right. Create conversation hooks. So, ask questions, use polls, invite people to share their experiences. The longer people interact, the more the more that your post will get shown. So again, you got to try to trick the algorithm. So you can mix in what I would call evergreen boosters. And this is where you can take timeless content, tips, list, behind the scenes, and you can post that stuff with your current content. And if you can show you being more real, that stuff is likely to be shared outside your core audience. So if you can show behind the scenes or something more like that, most likely that's going to be shown outside of your core people who normally watch your content. And then, one thing I've always said, I scream it from the rooftops, collaborate, collaborate, collaborate. But when you do collaborate, do it strategically. Team up with other authors of color or allies. Go do live togethers, do joint giveaways, do swaps on each one another's platforms. But you know what? You're gonna build engagement, that engagement loop cannot ignore. Try it. And then, you know what? Lastly, something I really hate, and that's analytics. Track your stuff. Track your post and your reach, and then see what works, and then double down on that. Now, do I know for certain that these things will fix the problem? 100% no, I do not. I'm just trying to bring solutions, you know, and that's the hard part. You can follow every single best practice out there, and the book still can feel invisible. And believe me, nothing is permanent. Systems can be changed, but sometimes it takes more than one voice to make a shift. So this is my question. If bias does exist in the algorithm, how do we, as authors, as creators, push back? Because ignoring it won't make it go away, and complaining sure in the hell does not help. But shining a light on it and maybe doing something about it where we're productive and we come together as a community, that just might that just might be what the algorithm needs to change. I don't know. It's worth a shot. Anyway, let me give you my laundry list of things before I go. If you are an author or a creative in this space and you would like to be on the author's mic, I have guests every Monday. I would love to share this platform with you. If you are an author and you're looking for a new way to promote your book, we have a book club. It's called the IRS, the Indie Readers Society. Why not pitch us? We are looking for a new read. Give us a shot. We don't know about your book if you don't tell us. All the information is on the link tree. If you are interested in writing a book, but you're like, I just don't know where to start, I have a free guide for you on my website. It's called So You Want to Write a Book, 44 pages of information that you need to start your indie author journey. And if you're interested in supporting me, you can check out my novels. Wait for it, You Sound White. They're available wherever good books are sold. But if you are interested, you can purchase them from me. I've got some really cool bookmarks I'll give you, and I will ship that bad boy for free, and I will sign it for you. So you guys remember, every click, every share, every read helps fuel this movement. Let's build something real. Let's break or change that algorithm together. Remember, for every underrepresented voice, for every untold story, for every indie author of color trying to be seen, I see you. That is why I keep showing up, I keep writing, and I keep trying to break the algorithm one brave word at a time. This has been the Author's Mic. My name is Kelly. Go out and make it a great day, because you know what? I'm definitely going to try, and I will catch you next time.